So, yeah, hi everyone. My name is Rohan Bhateja. Give me a second. Yeah, so good evening everyone. My name is Rohan Bhateja and I'm Associate Technical Lead at Altudo. So, I'm working with Altudo from last 5 years now, and it's been a pleasure to be here in front of you guys. So, yeah, as my topic is next level content creation, integrating ChatGPT and Dall-e with the Sitecore Content Hub. We'll be using Sitecore Connect for that. So, yeah, Sitecore Connect. It's refers to the set of tools and integrations provided by Sitecore, and it provides a digital experience platform to connect and integrate with the other integration systems and technologies. The aim of Sitecore Connect is to enable like seamless data integrations within the third-party systems, content synchronizations, and process automation between Sitecore and external systems. And we will be major using third-party APIs for integration here. I think this slide you have seen 10 times in this day, right? So yeah, we have like three major cloud parts here: engagement cloud, commerce cloud, and content cloud. Connect is a part of engagement cloud, and we'll be using two other things. I'll discuss this. Why we are using this? Because like composable DXP is a pick and choose or like go at your own pace digital experience solution. So like you can break the platform into different modules which are interchangeable and which has the capabilities of business. So yeah, let's go to the next one. Yeah, so for this session I'll be using three components here. Like the one is the connect, second is the DAM part in which we'll upload the assets or generate the assets, and third one is the content of operations, which will include the CMP part of that. And next one. So where actually Connect came from? Actually, Connect is not a in-house we can say module in Sitecore. It was a white label product from Workato, and we'll be also referring to the Workato documentation in case of any learnings or any issues came in the development life cycle. So yeah, in Sitecore Connect, we'll be covering these topics in brief today. We have recipes, connections, triggers, actions, and data builds. But yeah, today we'll start with the recipes here. Okay, so this, if you see this screenshot here, this is the recipe which I have used in one of my demo here. And what actually recipe is? Recipe is actually an automated workflow that connects your app, right? And if you see a left side system and right side system, and if there is something in between them, that's a recipe. And if you talk about in layman terms, we can say that recipe is just a set of steps, right? That's it. And each recipe should have at least one trigger. So if you see in the top, it says inbound request with content hub. So this is a trigger here. Yeah, at least one connection should be there. So we have three connections here. I'm connecting here with Sitecore Content Hub. Yeah, we can like test the connections, debug the connections, and validate also. So all these features are available in Sitecore Connect. Next up is connections. Okay, so connections is just a set of credentials, right? The name you can just denote by the name itself, right? It's a connection, right? So to connect, you just need client ID, client secret, or username, password, something like that. That's it. and in Sitecore Content Hub you have more than like 1,000 apps with which you can connect. So this is just a small glimpse of all the apps available here. So yeah, we'll be using 4 or 5 apps from the whole thing. Okay. Next one is trigger. This is, I guess, most important part in the recipe because each recipe will have at least one or more trigger. So, what trigger is? Trigger is used to initiate the recipe, and in Sitecore Connect, and trigger has generally like 3 mechanisms. One is the polling mechanism. Second is the real-time triggers, and third one is the scheduled triggers. So polling is based on periodically, like for every 5 minutes the trigger will be hit again and again, and your recipe will be executed. The real-time triggers will be based on the webhooks. So once you connect your app with the webhook, right, or when you create the webhook or an API call, then at the real time only your recipe will be executed. You don't have to wait for that. And schedule triggers. So third one is the schedule trigger. It's like if you want to uh, kick off the recipe tomorrow, right? So you can just um, add the date and all the things there. So yeah, trigger example. So here, if you see, I have just created one recipe here, which is having a trigger point, which is coming from application Gmail. So whenever I'm receiving an email, what I'm doing here is I'm just checking the if I have attachments or more than one attachments, and then I'm looping through all the attachments, and I'm downloading the attachments and uh, uploading it to the Dropbox. So this is just a application schedule. Yeah, this is an example of schedule. So every 5 minutes you can kick off the recipe, and we can also set the trigger condition. If you can see the radio button here. So if you further want to add an if else block here using the set trigger condition, you can do that. Okay. Okay. So next is the webhook. I think you have like seen webhooks earlier, or if you don't have seen the webhooks, so this is the very simple way to configure a webhook here. And Sitecore Connect provides a guided setup here so that you can connect your application with the base application and listen the events from your application without any hindrance. So the advantage of using the webhook is because webhook is part of real-time triggers. So you don't have to wait for the event to be processed, or there is no delay time actually there. So yeah, so instead of Sitecore checking for the trigger incoming trigger, so at the regular interval, we'll use webhook here. Yeah, this is just a guided setup here. So you can just put the event in the event name. You can just put some name here, and if you see the Workato webhook address, you'll get the address, and we'll use this address in the base application from where we want to fire the event. And yeah, once you click on next, you'll see something like a listening window kind of a thing. So here it's waiting for the event to come, and when it is received, you'll get the header body and all the parameters which you are sending from the base application. So yeah, this is the managed recipe. So this is also a kind of a trigger, like you can use or build recipes, and that recipes which you build can be used to monitor other recipes, right? So we have like job status or job failed here. So if the job is failed, then what to do or what not to do, or the account status is there, right? And this is like both in synchronous and asynchronous modes are there. Maybe the screenshot doesn't have that, but yeah, we can use recipes to monitor other recipes also. Okay, yeah, recipe functions. I think in C++ you have used functions. So recipe functions are used to build some recipes and which can be used in other recipes. So let's say I just added the email one, right? And if I want to use that recipe in two different recipes, I'll just create recipe functions and use that recipe into the other recipes. So just like functions will have parameters here. So in this parameter schema, we can pass the parameters, and there will be a result schema as well, in which we can get the return value, right? So yeah, as per Sitecore Connect, we should not have like 30 steps in a single recipe, and if we are having more than 10 steps in one recipe, then it's better to like create small recipes and reuse in other recipes. So yeah, next is actions. So here, yeah, so once the trigger is created, next step is to create an action here. So there are like different types of actions here: action app, if else and for loop, the call function, and errors, and like the handle errors. So okay, we'll start with the app one. So yeah, here we'll be using two apps majorly: OpenAI and Connect here. And like app actions are used to connect to the different apps. You just need to pass the credentials, and it's just a kind of a connection here you're building. So next one is, yeah, once you select the app, you'll see something like this. You'll put the instance URL and client ID and client secret to just build a connection. Okay, yeah, this is just a simple if else and for each block. So if you have a list of results, but one thing to mention here is there is no while loop available here for now, but we can just customize the for loop only to just create the while loop, so that like for example, for each we can just run it for a number of times, and until our condition is met we won't exit, and when the condition is met we'll just exit from the loop. So yeah, but for now the while loop is not there. Yeah, the recipe function. So as I said, I'll just create all the recipe functions here, and if I want to use reuse one of or one or more recipe functions in the base recipe, then I'll just reuse this one. Okay, next one is, yeah, I think this is pretty straightforward. If you see, this is the error window. So it's like a try catch block, where if you see in the first part, the monitor part, if your application is doing something and it's not able to perform the action properly, then it will go to the catch block, which is kind of an error. And in that error, we can also like add one or more application which will point to the base application, and it will say that your recipe is failing, something like that, so that there will be some prompt message also. Yeah, so yeah, this is very important. In Workato, like data pills are the placeholders, or we can say the dynamic values that represent the objects which are coming from triggers or the previous steps. So for example, if we have a 5-step recipe, then the values coming from the step 2 will be used in step 3. So these are the like the data pills. So if you see here, this is like a 5-step recipe, and here I'm using the question text. Yeah, this question text here from the step 1. So this step 1 is coming from a trigger from another app, and once we get the values, we'll change the question text here, and like the data bill will change it automatically. So next one is, okay, so if you have the data bill available, and if you want to add some computation on the data bill, like you want to trim it, or you just want to have a substring of the string, you just want to add some operations, or and so it's a Ruby syntax. We can use custom functions also here to, yeah, omit the things. Okay, yeah, next up is the task. So if you see, like task is just one step at a time, one unit of the step, and all these which are marked not at a task, these are actually not able to connect with an application, right? And one task should at least connect with one application, right? So and we can have the task per application in a single way or in a batch way. Like if we want to get some data, that can come in one by one or by in batches also. And yeah, trigger and other things doesn't come under tasks. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, because our topic is based on content creation using ChatGPT and Dall-e, so we'll be using these two tools here. And like why we are using these two tools is because it gives us the capability to like if you see ChatGPT, if you say hi there, so it will respond based on your question, right? So it's like self-learning also. So if you in Dall-e also, if you just add some image and if you say, can you edit this image, right? So it can do that. So that's why we are using here the generative AI. There are simple AI as well, but they are not like self-learners, or like I can say that they already have a set of rules or pattern, they'll follow that only. And in Sitecore Content Hub, we'll be using these two things, actions and triggers. So we have triggers in Connect also, and we'll have triggers in the Content Hub also. So from Content Hub, we'll create a trigger. That trigger will hit to the Connect, and the Connect trigger will initiate the recipe. So yeah, okay. Next up is the demo. So before starting the demo, we'll have some prerequisites here. You should have the access to Exam Cloud, this portal, and then you should have access to the Sitecore Connect as well. So to create a recipe, you'll just create, like, go to any folder and just create a recipe or connection. So we'll start with the recipe. So I have just created two recipes here. One is for the content creation, and one one is for the image generation. So first we'll just cover the content creation. Okay. So here we are having a 5-step recipe, which says that ChatGPT HTTP webhook. So this webhook is being received from the Content Hub. So we'll create a trigger there, and from that trigger, when we like do any operation, the webhook will be received here, and then the recipe will be executed further. So if I go to the full screen here, I'm just creating the variables here, and I'm just passing the necessary things here. Like this is my sandbox URL. This is a data field which I'm using from step 1. Yeah, the this is the ChatGPT or we can say Dall-e API key. So you need to go to this platform OpenAI and generate one key. It's paid, so yeah, but you can get a trial for I guess 1 month. So in next step, what we will do here is we will just post the message in ChatGPT, right? And this is the API endpoint which will be using, and this is the body message. In the content, we are just passing the question here, and in the headers, we'll passing the bearer token and all. So this is the recipe, but before the recipe, what we need to do here is we need to create one. Okay, before that, I'll show you. So I'm just loading my Content Hub sandbox here. So this is the sandbox, Content Hub sandbox. If you are not aware of that, if you go to the settings icon here in the manage page, you will see something like OAuth clients here. So you need a set of credentials, right? So the set of credentials will be generated from here. So if you create this OAuth client, it'll ask you to like your application name, ID, secret, the redirect URL, and the users which you want to authenticate. So I have already created one, which is the Sitecore Connect here. I'm going to use this one, and to generate the bearer token here, what we're going to do is we'll be using this postman. So I'll just generate a new token here. So this token will be available for like 60 minutes here. So I'm just copying this, and next step is to create an action in Content Hub. So again, from the manage page, you can just transit to actions here. Okay, I have already created one action. So if I edit this action, so here is the place where we will configure our webhook, which we created from the guided setup. So this is the webhook which we created, and as the header, in the header we'll pass the like the important information like the ChatGPT prompt, which is our question, right? And this is our response field where the response will come. This is the token which we just generated, and these are the like the client IDs just for the asset entities. Okay, once we save this, so our action is ready. Now we need to have a trigger here. So to generate a trigger, we'll again go to the manage, and we'll just go to triggers. So here we'll just create a new trigger here. So there are few things here which we need to take care of, that like the execution type here, it shows in progress, in process, or in background. So we'll be choosing here in background, and objective will be either on a new entity creation or like modification or deletion, which you can choose here. So what I have done, I have just created a trigger here for ChatGPT and a separate one for Dall-e. So yeah, if you go to the conditions tab here, you can see I have added one condition here, like if my content type is social media, then only the trigger will be initiated, else not. And based on that trigger, like this webhook is binded here. So the request will go to the connect app from this webhook. So once the trigger and everything is created, and in my trigger I'm just using the entity modification here, not the creation. So what we're gonna do here is, now we will go to the content, one of the content items. Okay, so yeah, I have already created this one here. Okay, so yeah, I have already like asked ChatGPT's like, can you write me some hashtags about SUGCON India? So it gave me these hashtags, right? But I'll show you one example here. So if I go here and exit, so we'll see the real-time webhook coming. Let's say we'll test this recipe, and here we'll edit. So instead of like SUGCON India, I'm saying let me give me some hashtags about Sitecore Connect. Okay, so once I save this, so on entity modification, our trigger will hit, right? So let's click on save and wait for the trigger. So yeah, the webhook is received and it's processing. Okay, so yeah, if you see here, um, here we can all see the payload and the headers in which we pass the question and the bearer token and everything. So you can see it's asking about the Sitecore Connect hashtags. And once we go back to the Sitecore Connect, Sitecore Content Hub, and if we reload this, so yeah, see, the hashtags are now updated, and now the new hashtags are coming here. So yeah, this is the ChatGPT for content creation. And for Dall-e, what we're gonna do here is, so so for Dall-e, we need to create one asset entity schema here. So in that schema, we have to like add some fields. So to do that, what we're gonna do here is we need to go to schema and like click on new definition. So here you can just add your new definition, and once this is created, it'll look something like this. Like this overview will not be there, but yeah, you can just create a new group and add the new fields here. So I'm just adding two types of field here. One is the string, which will have my message, and one is the number of images. Like I can say like give me 2 images or 3 images. It will give me the number of images. So the next step is so what I have done here is I've just on the create page, I have just added one button here. So if I click on that button, this Dall-e button, it'll show me this pop-up. So I'm just saying that, can you generate image for, like, I'm just saying for car is GDSG, and I'm just asking for one image here. Oops, sorry, I guess. Okay, sorry, I need to start the recipe. Okay, yeah, so this image generation recipe, so I'll just start this one. Okay, so it's processing the webhook right now in the background. So once that is done, the image will be created on this page, and we can see that. Okay, so this is successful, and if we refresh this, we can see one item is there. It will take some time to load because in the background it's running some processes, like it's creating renditions there. So yeah, so once that is done, now we can see the image is generated. We can add more options also here. Like for now we are just having the default renditions. If you want to add some more renditions also, we can, like in the recipe only, we can just mention that we can customize that thing. So yeah, in the recipe, I'll just go there. So this is the incoming webhook from the Connect app, Content Hub app, which will have like all these things, like my message and the number of images here. And this is the application which I'm connecting to. This is the OpenAI Connect app. So it has like different options here. So create images, it will just create new images from the prompt which I'm just giving the message. Edit existing image, and generate the variations of existing image. So we have like different options. This is the like funda of the generative AI. and again we are using this data pills here, and we can just mention the size also here. So like what size we want the image, and yeah, we are just getting the image in binary content. We can also get the URL as well, and we can also post the URL or upload the URL in the Sitecore content hub. So yeah, once we get all the images, there is a three-step job to upload the asset there. So this application is the Sitecore Content Hub application, and this is the endpoint which we are using here. So yeah, this is the upload one. We are just passing the name, size, the upload configuration here. These are just the like basic things which we need to configure. Second one is the like upload process. Here we are just passing all the data which is coming from the binary content here. And the third one is the finalized one. We are just like finalizing the data, or let's uploading the data to the content hub. So yeah, so sorry. So if you want to connect with me, these are my accounts. Okay, and thank you to all the sponsors for organizing this event. Yeah, thanks. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Any questions? No?
Which version of Sitecore content hub you are using?
Content Hub? I'm using 4.3. Yeah. But you can use any version. It doesn't matter because it's just an API call. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you all.